Hello there, this is Dr. CK Narayan coming to you from Neo Trader. And as usual, I speak about certain things related to trading in an effort to make that whole job a little easier, make in my effort to make you a better trader, a better investor, and indeed a better person along with my efforts. So today I'm going to be talking about a recent blog that I wrote. Incidentally, all my blogs are available on my website cknarayan.com. So please do take some efforts to visit my website, and you can read my current blogs and also the earlier ones. And if you would like to leave a comment or two, I would be happy to read them and even respond. Right. So let me say thanks to you for doing that already and then move on. So today's topic, and based on the last blog, is a simple way to improve your trading results. All of us want to improve our trading results, but they don't improve because most of the time we are the ones who are coming in the way, right? Uh, to the extent that people generally say that most people don't make money. Even recently, I think Nitin Kamath of Zerodha had this interview in which he says even from his stable, hardly about 5% of people make money, which is quite in line with the popular statistic about trading and investing. So many people also realize that the main reason why they are not making money in trading and investing is because of themselves, right? Now, if they realize it, if they recognize it, why are they not doing anything about it? You may well ask. The problem here is that most of them may not even know what to do about it, right? What to do so that this problem will not recur. See, every now and then some new element might actually come in. Like you take this case with this Ukraine war. It just came out of the blue. No one really thought that USSR would invade. Sorry, it's no longer USSR, it is Russia. No one really thought that Russia would invade, and but they did. And then this problem has been going on now for some 15, 20 days, and no real signs of scaling down or disappearing. So, at such times, your portfolio will take a big hit, right? Traders took a knock, investors took a knock, but it's not as though the bulls got knocked out completely, right? Gold went up, oil shot up. So if you're a bull in gold or if you're a bull in oil, then you made fantastic amount of money with the war, because gold and oil typically are fear commodities and they tend to rise whenever there is a fear element in the atmosphere. But assuming that most of us here are into equities and you are holding portfolios and you are holding trading positions, undoubtedly you would have lost. Of course, there would be a few amongst us who would have shorted this market and they would have gained nicely. But by and large, most people are not short sellers. Most people don't know how to do it, or it's not in their repertoire of actions which allows them to short the market. So probably, like I said earlier, most of us would have lost money, right? So, but kind of barring this Ukraine thing, right? Most of the time, the fault is ours. Now, one of the solutions. So we need to find a solution, right? That is what this whole talk is about and what the blog is about. One of the simplest solutions that I have used in the past and I continue to use even today is to sit down at that moment whenever I'm faced with this problem and make a list of my faults. Like, you should probably sit down and do this at the end of this particular talk video itself, and you note down what are the reasons why you keep making losses. They may be stuff like, I don't put a stop loss, I exit too early, meaning in profit, and I enter far too late. I don't have the correct kind of quantity, or I don't know how much is the correct quantity to trade. I have very large losses and I have small profits, and so on and so forth. This is a kind of a rough and ready list that I would think is common to a whole lot of people. So what I want you to do is put down all these common things and maybe put down also something which are unique to you, right? So once you have this list of problems in front of you, at least now you have identified the problem. See, you must treat trading, investing like a business. Now, if you take a business, and if a business has problems, what do they do? The business owner or the managing director or whoever, he will call for a meeting of all the people who are involved, and they'll all sit together in the meeting, and then they'll say, okay, let us kind of slice and dice this particular issue that we are having and try to find out a solution. That is why many of the companies also have an offsite. Yeah, most people think of an offsite as a paid holiday, but one of the objectives of a good offsite is that they should also think about strategy. They should think about problems and how that can be overcome. Now, if a company cannot produce the solution to the problem that may be existing within it, then they seek help. Then they'll go to Ernst & Young or one of those big four consultants and appoint them, and then they'll say, please come and have a look. Study our company and please tell us what is the problem and also tell us what the solution is, right? So this is how it happens. Now, if we think of ourselves as businessmen, whether I am a small trader or I'm managing a big book or I'm part of a trading setup, etc., or I'm investing for my own, etc., I must think of it as a business. And if that business is having problems, I need to call a meeting with myself because there isn't anybody else, right? I have to call a meeting with myself. So when I said sit down and list down the problems, that's like you're calling a meeting with yourself and then showcasing to yourself which are the problem areas. Having identified them, then only you will be able to think up a good solution, a good strategy for a solution, and then the plans to implement that strategy so that this problem can either get alleviated or it can get eliminated. So there are certain problems which cannot be removed at all. Like, let's say you want to trade big but you have no money. And so that's a problem which can be solved only by getting hold of big money. Now, borrowing to trade in the market is never a good idea. It puts additional pressure. So if you want to trade very large sizes and you don't have the money, then it's a problem that cannot be solved today or until such time then you have the money. But supposing you have problems that are not related to the amount of money that you have, then that's a problem that can be solved or its impact can be minimized, right? So a doctor does a surgery if he can cut out that problem. But if you have a cancer which has spread, then that cannot be cut out by surgery, right? So you go in for chemotherapy or you go in for radiation, etc. These are measures done to contain the problem. So as a trader investor facing problems, we have to either eliminate it if we can or we have to contain it. So these are the two ways to solve it. So now as an example, let's take one of the problems that you are entering too late. So then what can be the cause of this? Is the problem, I'm entering too late, right? One of the causes could be that you are not very sure of your analysis, you are not very sure of your action. So you wait and wait and wait. And then you ask two more people and you want confirmation from them. You ask your broker, you ask your friend, you ask another analyst, or you wait for somebody on TV to say it. You do all this and you keep delaying. In the meanwhile, the stock has been moving. So there is something wrong with the way that you need confirmation, right, before you take action. Okay, so this is a problem and now you have identified the cause for it. So, but then is this a problem which is creating more problems of its own? Now let's see what happens. If you enter too late, now there are two things which happen. First is that you have bought it at a much higher price than you planned to, right? That's the first one. So that is a disadvantage right from the start. Second is that assuming that you have a habit of setting stop losses, if the prices have moved away, then now your stop losses are larger than what you planned it to be. And Third associated problem is one related to quantity. Now, most of us are creatures of habit. And what we do typically is we trade in fixed lots. Buy me 500 shares or 1,000 shares, or buy me one lot or 5 lots, or whatever is your normal practice, and you will apply it to all your trades. So you'll do the same thing on this trade also. Now, this is a third problem which gets added to it, meaning you now have a large size position in a trade which you have bought at an unfavorable rate, and where your stop losses are a little further away than what you had planned. Now, assume that this trade goes against you. Then you now have a much bigger loss. Why? Now the unfavorable rate begins to hurt, because now the stop losses which are far away, they come and get clicked, and therefore you have a larger loss than normal. And then you have a large quantity, the usual stuff you have. The ideal thing to do would have been to take a smaller quantity and manage the risk. But we are all creatures of habit, and we don't think before we act enough. We don't think enough before we act. So you end up with a very, very large loss. So what happened is that I entered too late was based upon various reasons, but it also created 2-3 other problems along with it. So you understand where I'm trying to get at with this? Now, this is what we must try and avoid. So how do we avoid this? First thing is, you must avoid entering too late. Easier said than done. How do you do that? You must have some kind of a warning mechanism that a trade setup is getting formed, right? So that you are ready for action as and when it fires. Now, how will this happen? This will happen if you have a good setup definition on your charts. So your charts are one of the ways to help solve this as a problem, because the charts, the signals should be clear. They should not be a necessity for multiple analysis before you realize or recognize that a signal has been issued. So simplicity is the key here in your chart setup. Or alongside, you must have some kind of a alert mechanism, something like, let's say, the NeoTrader software that I have designed, right? The NeoTrader software is a trading companion, and it looks at all kinds of setups and then signals you when a setup is ready to fire or has just fired. So if you combine the charts and if you combine an alerting mechanism like NeoTrader, then you will be able to reduce the impact of entering too late. See, these two things should help you. But if you're of the mindset that, no, I need more confirmation, then nobody can help you. See, that's a psychology thing you got to get rid of. Our tool sets are there for us to overcome our psychological inhibitions. So start relying more on your tool sets. Rely more on your chart signal, chart setup, rely more on a software like NeoTrader. Once you are able to do that, and if you eliminate the problem of entering too late, alongside you're eliminating associated problems, right? And if you are entering at the right price, then the normal quantity that you do will work to your favor. The better price that you got will work to your favor. The smaller stop losses that you will have to place will work to your favor. So this is how a simple thing can be solved. So I just took one example and showed you what could be a possible solution. So everything that you listed, all of them have solutions. It is possible that you may not be able to find the solution. If you didn't, take some help. There are enough consultants around. You can come to us for help. You can go to somebody else who's rendering a service of such a nature for help. You can buy products. You can become an expert at charting. Hey, with NeoTrader, you don't even need to become an expert at charting, because it does a lot of that work for you also. So get help. Like I said earlier, if businesses are in problem, then they go to some big time consultant to help solve the problem. If you cannot solve the problem by your own, then get help. There is no shame in it. It might cost you a little in the short run, but it's going to save you a heck of a lot of money in the long run. So that is what I would say about this aspect. And one more thing, in this chart signal or an alert mechanism from a companion software, etc., it is possible that you came to that a little late yourself, right? So if the threshold at which this signal came has passed by a little while ago and the prices have run up a little more, then you should not allow the FOMO feeling. You know what's the FOMO feeling? It's a popular thing, fear of missing out. You should not allow FOMO feelings to come in the way and chase something which has already run. Just let the trade go. Please understand that in the markets, the opportunities are endless. So if this one goes, another one is going to pop by very, very soon. So that's the other thing. If you have approached it too late, let the trade go. Then you are not allowing the problem to manifest only. You see, like I said earlier, either you can cut out the problem. Now by doing this, letting the trade go, because it has passed you by, you are now ensuring that you do not even have a problem. Earlier I told you about how to deal with the problem. Now, one of the ways is not to make it happen or get it created into a problem itself, right? So wrapping up, the solution is identify or list down all the problems, identify one or two critical problems which are causing you losses or unpalatable outcomes over and over again, right? And then address that, bring a solution for it, get help, work like a corporation, work like a business, get help and solve it, right? Solutions are very much there. Like I said, it is for you to go out and seek them or create them, right? Don't sweep them under the carpet. They are or expect that one day they'll just magically go away. It is not going to happen, right? If you don't address them, you are very soon going to go out of business. But if you do take the effort to address them, longevity for you is assured, and through longevity you'll make the money that you have always dreamt about. So understand this and accept this. Almost always, you are the problem. And if you are the problem, the solution also has to come from you. Others may assist you to find the solution, but you have to find the solution. I'm here making suggestions for you to find solutions for yourself. So that's it for now. I hope you liked what you heard in this video. If you liked it, do press the like button, do share it with people you know, do subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you will be alerted to future editions when we come out with them. And I thank you once again for being part of this effort at making investor and trader education a paramount thing in our lives. Thank you once again, and until next time, this is Dr. CK Narayan bidding you goodbye.